Inga mana, inga liu, inga lao, lenga tilama. Tina koto, tina koto, tina tato katoa. 大家上午好. Right Honorable Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Honorable Minister David Parker, Honorable Helen Clark, Mr. Simon Bridges, Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure and honor to address today's prominent participants at the China Business Summit. My thanks to New Zealand Inc. and Auckland Business Chamber of Commerce for the kind invitation, and my congratulations to you on this very special occasion. Events like this will not be possible without the elimination of community transmission of COVID-19. This has been achieved with great leadership by the Prime Minister, the professional management of the New Zealand government, and the great unity of all the Kiwi people. Nobody would have expected that a pandemic like COVID-19 would define the first year of the third decade of the 21st century, with such wide-ranging and far-reaching impacts. At this moment, the pandemic is still raging across the world and is yet to reach its peak, threatening the lives and livelihoods of people in many countries. It has caused an economic recession of a scale that may only be matched by the Great Depression of the 20th century. It has also presented a direct challenge to global cooperation. The pandemic has led to a surge of unilateralism and bullying from some countries. Despite all the setbacks and challenges, we believe that globalization will here to stay. The theme of the 21st century will still be peace and stability, development and prosperity. The future of mankind and the destinies of all the countries still lie in cooperation rather than confrontation. Pursuing zero-sum game and portraying others as adversaries or enemies will lead to nowhere and will only harm its own interests. No matter how the international situation may evolve, China will remain committed to the path of peaceful development and pursuing mutual benefit and win-win cooperation with all countries. The outbreak of COVID-19 will only entrench China's commitment to globalization and multilateralism. China stands for the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind. While the world is at a critical moment, so is our bilateral relationship. Our two countries, different in size, culture, and history and social system, have made a history by achieving many firsts in our bilateral relationship. The fundamentals of our relations are strong. Natural economic complementarity has served our two countries well. Practical cooperation in various fields has gone from strength to strength and benefited our two peoples and countries. However, we should not take our relationship for granted. We should make sure that our bilateral relations are immune from various viruses in these trying times. The key to our successful bilateral relationship in the past decades is our commitment to practical cooperation and a respect for each other's core interests and accommodation of each other's major concerns. Instead of trying to change or remodel the other, we respect each other. I am confident that we will carry on this tradition. The outbreak of COVID-19 has not pushed us apart from each other. Rather, it has brought us even closer. We supported each other in fighting against the virus. Our trade remains steady. According to the latest statistics, New Zealand's exports to China in the 3 months to May were 4.45 billion New Zealand dollars, accounting for half of New Zealand exports to the wider Asia region and 1/3 of the APEC economies. China remains by far the largest export destination for New Zealand. While the COVID-19 brings challenges, it also gives us opportunity to tap new potential for cooperation. I would like to highlight the following points specifically. First, we should explore new areas of cooperation and open our doors even wider. We should take advantage of the FTA upgrade to expand cooperation in new areas such as healthcare, quality food, e-commerce, aged care, and many others. China is set to establish Hainan province as a free trade zone, focusing on trade and investment liberalization and facilitation. As this plan unfolds, the business communities from both countries will find a lot of new opportunities. We should also explore the opportunity to leverage the potential of the Southern Link, with New Zealand acting as a hub between Asia and South America. Second, we need to promote comprehensive dialogue and cooperation. We look forward to the 30th Joint Trade and Economic Consultations to advance trade agenda. We should start the first round of fiscal and financial dialogue, which is essential for us to weather the uncertainties of the international financial market. And of course, we will continue our cooperation and dialogue on climate change. Third, we should keep giving our strong support to multilateralism, including the multilateral trading system and a regional process for trade and investment liberalization and facilitation. China has joined the Supply Chain Connectivity Initiative launched by New Zealand and Singapore. As RCEP parties, we should promote the full conclusion of the negotiation of the agreement as early as possible. China would like to work closely with New Zealand leading up to APEC 2021 and beyond to inject more dynamism and credibility to the regional economic cooperation. As comprehensive strategic partners, China and New Zealand should continue to maintain strategic commitment in difficult times and support each other on issues concerning sovereignty and territorial integrity. China has always followed the principle of non-interference in others' internal affairs. At the same time, China stands ready to safeguard its core interests and major interests. Issues related to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Xinjiang, and Tibet will touch on China's sovereignty and security. And these are all China's internal affairs. Last month, China put forward national security legislation for Hong Kong SAR. The legislation is designed to hold accountable a very small number of criminals who put national security in serious jeopardy. This legislation has taken into full consideration of the needs of safeguarding national security and the specific conditions in Hong Kong. The legislation has drawn opinions extensively from Hong Kong society and set out systematic and comprehensive provisions regarding the legal system and enforcement mechanism at both national and regional levels. It upholds the constitutional order in the Hong Kong SAR established by the Constitution and the Basic Law, and demonstrates the inherent requirements of one country, two systems. It does not impact the judicial independence or high degree of autonomy in Hong Kong SAR, the rights and freedom of Hong Kong residents, or the legitimate rights and interests of foreign investors in Hong Kong. I am fully confident that the national security law will only bring about a more stable, prosperous, and attractive Hong Kong. In Chinese philosophy, we never let a crisis go without turning it into opportunities. COVID-19 is a crisis that has aggravated the multitude of challenges we face. Yet, together, we will overcome the crisis and challenges. The world will emerge from this crisis stronger and better than ever. In China, we say, as Minister Parker mentioned, both Chinese and Kiwi-like proverbs. Learning is like rolling upstream. Not to advance is to drop back. To this end, China stands ready to work even closer or even closely with New Zealand through these challenging times. Thank you very much.